Hello and welcome to State of the Table. My name is Ryan, also known as Rezial, and this is my weekly video series where we get a quick look at the hobby table, see what might be going on, if anything has changed, or if I've come across anything I'd like to share with you this week. I do try to keep these as close to 5 minutes as possible, although I do usually fail, so we'll try to go over as little as possible. If you are returning or you are new, please do consider hitting that like button. If you're getting value out of the content, please give me a share, subscribe if you can, hit that notification bell so that you do get updated when any new videos do come out. It really does help. So without further ado, let's take a look at it. So we're going to try to go as rapid fire as I can on some of these, although I've got a little bit to talk about with rapid developments from the previous week. But one of the main things is I haven't got to make a whole lot of progress, unfortunately. It's just one thing after another. Started some spring cleaning and kind of got out of sorts. I'm really allergic to poison ivy and accidentally got into some somehow from tools or something like that, and it's really messed up my ability to hobby because it's messed up my right arm. So I've been able to do as much, you know, I'll leave it at that because it's not very pleasant otherwise. But one of the things that's gone on lately is I've been hem-hawing, going back and forth about running my Dark Angels in an upcoming big tournament later on in the spring, and so I had wanted to get that going, and part of the reason that it was difficult was building up the list. With Arks of Omen being a new format for us since January, and it being kind of off the wall, I guess, for a lot of us, different players, especially if you're not like at pro levels where you're kind of like used to really digging in behind these rapid fire changes as much. You know, it's been a little hard for me to make the decisions, you know, wholeheartedly. So finally I did decide, you know what, let's just do this. I have rebuilt a list, and I'll see if I can link that down for you guys, so that you can get an idea about it. But basically I ended up needing to shuffle some things around. I am a big fan of the Blood Angels army, as well as many of you that already watched this know. I do have one of those, and one of those armies, and following some content by a good friend of me and my channel, Blood Angels Commander, and also one of the best, if not the best, Blood Angels players currently, Sam Procopio, having a great conversation this past week, talking about things like mortal wound defense and stuff like this. I decided that I needed to retool my list, because that is one of the main weaknesses of an army like Dark Angels with Deathwing. And so one of the primary ways that you can get that defense is by having a character like Lazarus, and he will go pretty well with Deathwing because he does sort of keep a similar pace with them. They don't have to move much. They really don't move quicker than him at all if you don't want them to. So he can kind of stick with them and give them mortal wound defense. And another thing that's different from my previous iteration of the list I was thinking about is not only that, is that I'm toning back the amount of Ravenwing quite a lot and upping the amount of Deathwing. So it's almost like half and half now with my elites. So I'm keeping in my Infiltrators, which I have here. I'm keeping in my Talonmaster. I'm keeping in Ezekiel, but I am swapping out Samael for Lazarus, and I'm keeping my Ancient, but I'm upgrading it to a Terminator Ancient, and I am also, let's see here, bringing in a Landspeeder Vengeance. Now, I owned a Dark Shroud, and I was able to, without much trouble, alter my Dark Shroud so that it will be able to accept my Landspeeder Vengeance parts. I will just get those fixed up, and that shouldn't take very long, and then I will get those attached. And also, I'm going to switch that to the Assault Cannon on the front because it was a heavy bolter for cost originally, and some other concerns from previous, like, 8th edition stuff. So that's a thing. Now, I also have my trusty Dark Angels bits box, this is just Dark Angels, so that's a huge fishing container that I do, because that's one of the things I use for bits is fishing containers. And I also have another whole container here, and I'm just going to move this, and that is full of also Dark Angel sprue. So it's listed as Dark Angels, and that is a thing that I'm going to have as well. So it is going to be about 20 Deathwing Terminators, mostly hammers and shields and heavy weapons, cyclone launchers and stuff like that, although I'm going to mix in a little bit of claw and power fist and bolters because I just want a little bit of flexibility. I'm swapping out my land speeders, unfortunately, because they just don't fit in the points. I'm going to, of course, have the Vengeance instead, and now I have a full 3 more attack bikes, so I'm going to run 2 units of 3 attack bikes. And so those are going to, so I've already got some more attack bikes I'm working on, and got the sidecars going there. It's not focusing, but they are going to be there. Yeah, there they are. And I think I've got a couple more characters, Ravenwing Apothecary, and then I do have the Black Knights. I'm going to do 9 Black Knights because of points. I just could not quite get the points exactly where I wanted them, so I think it's either 1990 or 1995 points in that list. So I'm going to be working on Deathwing kits that I hadn't ever used in the past. I've got my old ones, but they're, you know, mostly old 5th edition style stuff. And then I've got some extra bikes here, and then I've got tons of Ravenwing Black Knights and stuff waiting to go. So that's it. That is going to be what I'm going to work on. As you all know that have seen before, I had started my Infiltrators previous, so they're already kind of hanging out. They're one of my ways to get a little bit of extra OBSEC and utility in the list that I'm wanting to try, and so that's really that. I mean, wish me luck, y'all, because I'm gonna need it. getting this type of work done and up to a standard that I'm really gonna enjoy. So that is really that. I mean, there's nothing else new I can say about the table. I just haven't been able to get to it. So, and there's nothing else besides as far as like painting techniques or anything at the moment to praise you guys of that is different. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Do please consider following on the Instagram. I haven't got to post as much as I wanted to last week because there just hasn't been any hobby change or projects happening during the last week. So as this Dark Angel stuff starts happening, that will change, and there will be pictures coming up. And so that is Instagram at @LittleEIAO. That's LittleEIAO. And that is it, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.